An attendance form is going to be passed in the chat box. So what you want to go ahead to do is fill in the attendance form so that you can get access to the presentation resources, the recording, all right, and you can be able to watch the session over again and then be able to apply everything that you're going to be learning in this session, at your free time. So without wasting time, I'm going to jump right into what we have for today. Okay. So now, very quickly, we are going to be analyzing real-time sales insights and build a dashboard, right, using Tableau. Okay. Now, we are also going to learn how the pathways, right, to becoming a data analyst, right, the pathway to becoming a data scientist. Now, because Tableau, which is a business intelligence tool, is a tool that is used by both the data analyst and the data scientist. Okay, so how do we, what are the pathways that we need to follow to be able to become a data analyst, data scientist? Then we're going to learn about the Analytics Growth Internship Program. And finally, for those that are going to stick around to the end of the session, we have a special discount offer for you. But that's only for those that are going to wait till the end of the session. So very quickly, right, about Analytics. So who are we, all right? So Analytics is a leading ed tech firm, all right? And we are specializing in helping Africans and the people of the Black community, all right, to learn premium tech skills and lower the entry barrier into tech. Okay, so how do we do this, right? Through a numerous of our service offerings, right? That is including data analytics, business analysis, data engineering, data science, financial analytics, HR analytics, cybersecurity, AI engineering, okay? And then we have seasoned facilitators, right, from diverse sectors. I'm talking about, we have facilitators from Apple, from Microsoft, from McKinsey, from Sarah Groups, KPMG, right? We have all these, competent facilitators that are going to help us, train us and provide us those premium tech skills in transitioning into the tech space. All right. Now, very quickly about myself. So my name is Faliba Mobology, and I'm a data scientist and MLOps engineer with half a decade experience in data analytics and AI engineering. All right. So my experience spanned from data science and MLOps at Simplified UX USA. All right. Data analytics at Mo is Consulting Canada, and an AI engineer at Zahara Health Limited, Nigeria. So I've worked in the health space, I've worked in the financial sector, and definitely in the ed tech sector. Right. So now I have a very fantastic and a seasoned tech professional with us this evening, and she's going to be walking us through how we can use Tableau to be able to generate insights, create dashboards, and provide, technical insights to our stakeholders by being able to analyze the data set that we are working with, okay? And I'm going to let her introduce herself. So Akuna, the floor is yours.
Wow, thank you so much, Mobolaji. That was really awesome. All right, so hi everyone. Hi everyone. My name is Akuna Anyampa. All right, and similar to what Mobolaji has said so far, I'm a seasoned technology professional. I have also half a decade of experience spanning different industries: sales, health, security, IT, telecom, education, marketing, NGOs, and so much more. All right, so I've trained people in US, Ghana, Cameroon, UK, Canada, Nigeria, and some other places as well, right? So definitely I'm coming today with a body of knowledge and some level of experience, all right? So I use the tools that we have there. That's Python, Power BI, Tableau, Excel, SQL, all right? And the rest, okay? So definitely I'm looking forward to what we're going to do together today. All right, thank you very much, Mobolaji. So we can move on to the next slide.
So I'm going to let you share your screen right now, Akuna. So I'm going to stop sharing.
Okay.
So you can go ahead and share your screen.
All right, thank you very much, Mobalaji. So let me share my screen and let's dive right in. Are we excited? If you're excited, please give me a thumbs up. If you're really, really excited, please give me a thumbs up. You should be, because you're about to learn something special today. All right. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, I think I should reshare that again. All right. Okay. So thank you. So let me move on to the next slide. Yeah, so I'm just going to stop here. All right, so please, if you can see my screen, please give me a thumbs up. Or you can use in the chat box that you can see my screen. All right, thank you very much. Okay, so today, before we dive right into what we are supposed to do, I want to, introduce to you the difference between a data analyst and a data scientist. All right, a lot of people actually mix up these terms. They think that a data analyst and a data scientist are the same thing. No, they are not the same thing. All right, so before you dive right into a career, it's good for you to have your terms and one or two things well defined so that you don't get confused or surprised when you get to the point of learning that skill. All right, so let's move on. Now, very quickly, as you can see on the screen, all right, a data analyst extracts insights from data. A data scientist also extracts insights from data. Okay, similar to what we're going to do today. A data analyst works with structured data. That is data that has to do with what? Rows and columns, similar to your Excel sheet, right? Your tables, right? Those are what we call structured data. A data scientist also works with structured data and unstructured data, meaning a data scientist works with the structured data, also works with data that does not have what? Rows and columns. So please note that. A data analyst, as you can see here, right, applies statistical and visualization tools to analyze data, similar to what we're going to do today. While a data scientist, as you can see down here, they also do the same thing. They apply statistical, all right? But this time they do statistical and machine learning tools and techniques for prediction. So now you can see the difference, all right? So today we're going to be doing lots of visualizations, all right? Similar to what data analysts actually do, all right? And then we have for the data scientists, if you look down, they apply predictive models to solve problems. For instance, if you want to predict the weather, what's going to happen tomorrow, all right? You want to predict if it's going to be cold, if it's going to be sunny, all right, it's going to be windy, etc. A data scientist can create a model, all right, that can predict the future, the unknown future. Data scientists, data analysts rather, what they do is they dig deep into the data. So today we're going to perform data analysis techniques on our data, all right? We're going to apply statistical and visualization techniques to analyze our data, to understand the sales of the computer hardware business today. So as a data scientist, data analyst, they use Excel, SQL, Tableau, Power BI. That is for data analyst, okay? A data scientist also uses Excel, SQL, Tableau, and Python, all right? A data scientist rather, all right? So you can also find some data scientists that also use Power BI, all right? But these are the major difference, okay, between the data analyst and the data scientist. So that being said, let's move on. So what are we going to do today? Today, we're going to be analyzing real-time sales insights for a computer hardware business using the Tableau tool. All right. So let's talk about the business. The name of our company that we are sort of helping out is called Metrics Tech Business. Metrics Tech, all right? So Metrics Tech, as you can see on the screen, is a growing computer hardware store. They offer a wide range of digital products, laptops, monitors, accessories, peripherals, essential, computing components, and so on, right? So they offer this service both online and physically in the store, all right? So Metrics caters to customers across all regions, aiming to provide quality tech solutions and fast service delivery. This is an amazing company committed to their clients, all right? Committed to their customers. So let's move on. Now let's look at the problem statements. Now, if you look at what I'm doing, I'm reading about the company, and then I'm moving on to problem statement. Before you start creating your dashboards, before you try to start, offering solutions to a company, you must understand what the company requires of you. You don't just jump into a project because the project sounds interesting. No, you must understand the aim, understand the objective, understand the goals, understand the issue, the challenge with the company before you hop right into the project. And that is what we are doing now. So let's look at the problem statement on the screen. So despite how amazing Metrics Tech Business has been so far, steady sales across various product lines, Metric lacks real-time visibility into its performance metrics. A lot of businesses are like this. They are making good sales, but they lack real-time visibility into their performance metrics. They can't even really say that this is what is giving us much sales. All right, this is what is bringing in bulk of the customers. Yeah, as little as this is, some amazing companies that are so big, they don't know because they have not understood the importance of data. Right, so now Metrics has seen the importance of data and they have called on us to help them analyze their data. So the management needs an efficient way to monitor sales trend, understand their customer preference, identify areas for growth, and inventory optimization. Now they've called us to help them with what? Their sales trend, understanding their customer preferences, identify areas that they should invest in for growth, all right? Understand how they can optimize their inventories. Okay, what products should they invest more in? All right, so these are the challenges and these are the reasons why they have called on us. Let's move on to the aims and objectives. I've kept it simple because I have just an hour to deliver this project, okay? So now for the aims and objectives, the aim of the project is to track, that's the first aim over there, to track real-time sales performance, to compare sales, okay? So we want to compare sales across the online, all right, and the in-store channels, sales channel, all right? So we're going to do that. And finally, we're going to analyze sales distribution, all right? We're going to analyze that as well. So knowing this, let's move on to our products. Okay, so this is what we have here. So I said, let's take a look at our data sets. All right, so this is our data set. All right, for our data set, we have the serial number as the first column, right? We have the dates, we have the product, that's the product name, printer, hardware, laptop, keyboard, etc. We have the category, right? We have the components, peripheral, extra, etc. We have storage. We have the units sold. We have the unit price. We have the sales channel, okay? We have the region, and we have the total sales, okay? So we're going to analyze this today. We're going to create a dashboard that helps us with the objective. Mind you, our dashboard can contain so much, all right? But for the benefit of this time that we have, I'm just going to keep little on the dashboard, all right? But later on, once you're practicing on your own, you can add more components to your dashboard, all right? To make your dashboard more robust. But I'm going to show you how to do that today. I'm going to show you the basics, and then you can build on the basics. So now this is our dashboard. Very simple. So I just converted these data sets on the left-hand side to what we have on the right-hand side. So on the right-hand side, you can see the total sales. You can see the total price, right? Unit price. You can see the average sales, and then you can see the top product sales. So the product that has the highest sales, all right, we have the value there as well. Then we can see the trend of sales over time. Okay, you want to understand the trend of sales over time. We have there, so depicted using the line charts. Line charts in data analytics is used to depict information over time. So if you want to understand something over time, you want to understand how a feature has increased and decreased, you want to understand the trend over time, you make use of a line chart. Beneath the line chart, we have a vertical bar chart that shows us the online versus the inline store. Very simple dashboard, right? So we can see how much sales different channels makes, all right? And we can already do these 1 or 2 things from that. Okay. Now the next one is the total sales per product, all right? And the last one there is we have a simple table which shows us a data summary, okay? So this is a very simple dashboard, all right, that helps us with the objective. Now let me show you how to create this dashboard. Oh yeah, so this is a better view. When you get the slides, you can have a better look at the dashboard before you start constructing yours. All right, so let me share my entire screen. Okay, I'm just going to share the entire screen so that you can see everything, right, at a glance. All right, so this is my entire screen that you can see. Beautiful. So now I have developed, or rather have downloaded my Tableau desktop public edition before this class, all right? So if you want to practice, you go online and you can download Tableau desktop public edition, all right? Download it to your system or on your system, and then you can practice along, all right? So the first thing we're going to do is we have to have our data set, all right? So if you look over here, this is our data set. So I've stored this data set as a CSV file, which stands for comma separated value file. It's an Excel file, all right? So I've stored it as that. You can have it as an Excel file, no problem, it's still fine. CSV file still works, all right? So I've stored it as that. So if you download yours as an Excel file, you come and you click on Microsoft Excel, you locate where the file is on your system, and you upload it, you import it rather into your Tableau desktop area, right? If it's an Excel file. But if it's a CSV file, you have to click on text file. Then you go up and locate where it is in your system. So this is it. This is my CSV file, and I'll open it up. You just have to be patient, wait for it to get opened, and we're good to go. Beautiful. Voila, there we have it. If you look to your right-hand side, you can see the rows and the columns in your data set. You can see the order ID, you can see the date, product, category, unit sold, unit price, sales channel, region, total sales from your data sets, okay? You just need to cross-check to be sure that everything came in as planned, all right, as needed. So the next thing I'm going to do now, let's just hop right in. So the data set has been cleaned, is okay for the analysis of today. So we don't have to start doing any form of data cleaning, right? So I cleaned it on our behalf. So you can thank me later, all right? So now we're just going to hop right in and we're going to start developing the dashboard. All right, we're going to start developing the dashboard. I want to show you what we're developing so you can have and understanding. We're going to develop this, all right? We're going to start with the scorecards to your left-hand side, total sales, total unit price, average sales, etc. And then we'll go on to the charts, all right? Are you ready? Let's start. So I'm going to come up here to the sheet 1, and I'm going to double click on it. So once you click on sheet 1, it takes you to the area where you can actually create your charts, all right? So the first thing I want to create is the first scorecard, which is what? Total sales. So for me to get the total sales, all right, I'm going to come over here to the left-hand side, and I'll drag the total sales and drop it under rows. I don't want it to be a bar chart, so I'm going to go up here to where we have show me. And then I'll convert it, or rather I'll change it to a table so that I can have my total sales numeric value. So now I can see my total sales is 807,810. We are done. We're done. So we're done with the first scorecard. But before we are done, so that we don't get confused, you come over here to sheet 1, double click on it, and type out total sales. Give it the right name. Okay? Because once we are importing, or rather, once we are importing our charts to our dashboard, you need to have the name so that you don't get confused. So I'll hit enter. I'm done with the first scorecard. Now let's move on to the second scorecard. So I'm going to click here where we have this plus sign over here to create another sheet. I'll click on it and it brings up sheet 2. I'm going to do the same thing for the next key performance indicator. Let's go back and let's check what we have next. We have total unit price. So I'm going to come over here. I'll change it to what? Total unit price. I'll hit enter. Then I'll come over here to my left-hand side. I will drag unit price to rows. Same thing I did before. I'll move over and change it from bar to table. There we have it. We are done. Let's create another sheet and let's call it, this time I'm going to call it average sales. Nice. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to rename it to what? Average sales. So just to make things better, I'll call it AVG sales. Okay, enter. You don't have to name it the full name always. You can just, name it something short, okay? But I want us to flow together today. That's why I'm giving it their full names, all right? So for the average sales, how do we calculate average sales? Average sales, definitely, you're right. It's going to be the total sales divided by what? The units sold. Or rather, not the units sold, sorry. The total sales divided by what? The count of sales, right? So that is how it's going to be. For you to get the average sales, the total sales divided by what? The count of sales. So for that, if you look at the columns that we have here, we don't have anything like average sales. So we have to derive a column called average sales. So we're going to calculate it by ourselves. So are you ready? Let me show you how to calculate that. So for you to calculate it, you move up here to where we have this inverted triangle. You click on it, then click on create calculated field. So we are creating a calculated field because we are calculating something. So I clicked on that and I came over here and I saw this beautiful prompt showing me calculation 1. So I'm going to change it to what? Average sales. And we already know the formula, right? Average sales is going to be sum of total sales divided by what? The count. So for us to do that, we're going to sum all the total sales together in our data sets, and then we're going to divide everything by the total count, right? So I'm going to say here, sum. I can see the sum already, so I can just click on that, and it opens up, it can give me like this brackets. So I'm going to type inside the function, right, what I want to sum. I want to sum total sales, so I'll type out total sales. Before I'm done typing, I see it here, so I'll just click on that. Then I'll say sum of total sales divided by count of what? Count of all the rows. Okay, I want to count all the rows in the data set, be able to count the number of sales, right? So what can I use? What can I count? If I look over here to my left-hand side, I can see order ID. Makes sense. I can count everything using the order ID, right? Or any other thing actually, because we don't have missing values. All right, so I'm going to say count. Please not count this thing, not count D, normal count. Count, order ID. I'll click on that, order ID, and there we go. Our formula is okay. If your formula was typed out correctly, you're going to see the calculation is valid over here, right? So now let's quickly click on OK and apply. Now we're done. We've been able to calculate the average sales. Hooray. So I'm just going to drag this and I'll drop it under rows. Same thing. I'll change it to table. And then our average sales will be 4,039. We are good to go. The next thing we're going to do now is we're going to get the top product sales. Okay, so we want to get the top products, right, that has the highest sales. We want to get the product that has the highest sales, and then we want to get the sales value. Okay, and from here we can see it's 119,000. And if you actually look at this analysis over here, you can see that graphics card actually has the highest. So it should be graphics card. So let's go back and let me show you how I came about that. So very quickly, I'm going to create another sheet and I will name it what? What should I call it? Top products. I'll hit enter. And once I'm done, what am I going to do now? So I want to get the products and I want to get the sales. All right, so I'm just going to drag products to rows. And then after dragging product to rows, I'll get total sales and I'll drag it over here as well. Nice. It's going to give me this, but this is not what I want. So I'm just going to change it to a table. Beautiful. So now I have it using the tabular format and I can see that graphics card actually has, but if you're not sure, what you could do is you could come up here and sort it, all right, from the highest to the lowest. And if you sort it, you can see graphics card still remains high, followed by keyboard, all right? So the highest is graphics card. So what do? You come over here to graphics card, you right click on it, and you click on keep only. We just want to keep the graphics card. We want to do away with the rest of them, okay? So we keep that only. I will come over here to graphics card. I don't want to see your name. I don't want to see graphics card. I just want the value. So I'll right click on graphics card and I'll say show header. So I don't want to see it. It's gone, all right? Now we have the value. We have the top product sales value. We are good to go, so you can leave that, all right? You're good to go. Now, the next thing we're going to do now is we're going to start creating the charts. We're done with the scorecards. We're done with the KPIs. Now, let's start creating the charts. The first chart we have is the line charts, which shows us the what? The sales trend over time. So let's create that quickly. I'm going to create another sheet. I'll call it line. I'll hit enter. Sales trend over what? Time. So I'm going to carry sales trend over time. I'll carry my total sales to rows. I'll carry my dates over time. So it has to do with dates, right? Time. I can find the time from the date, okay? So when I say time, it's not necessarily 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, all right? It can be months, it can be days, it can be anything, all right? So I'll just get the dates and put it under what? Columns, okay? There we go, fine. But this is not what I want, all right? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come over here to year. I'll click on the inverted triangle. I'll come down here and select day. So I actually want to see the total sales over time in days. And there we go. There we have it. So you can click on show me. All right, so when you click on show me, you can see the movement, okay? So this is what we have there. All right, so later on, you can go through this and look at what it actually means, all right? So what's day or what days actually have the highest total sales, etc. All right, so I'll leave that for you. So very quickly, before we move away from this chart, I want to show you how to do 1 or 2 things. We're not done with this chart, okay? So I want to remove the noise from the chart. So I'm going to come over here. I'll right click on total sales. I don't want to see the y-axis. I don't want to see the labels for the y-axis. I don't need that. So I'm going to click on show header. meaning I don't want to show the header anymore. So I will uncheck the show header. So you can see it's gone. Then I'll come down here to day of dates. Okay, so I can see the days, yeah, the dates in days, but I don't want to see day of dates 2025. I don't need to see that. So I'm going to right click here and I'm going to go to edit axis. So I want to edit this X axis. And when I do that, this opens up and I'll come over here to where we have day of dates. I'll just delete that. And once I'm done, I'll just come over here and I would close it. So now you can see the day of dates under the X axis is gone. All right. So all of these things I'm doing now comes with what? Experience. So don't get overwhelmed and wonder, wow, she's so fast, etc. Just understand the process. When you're practicing yours, you actually see how easy it is. Okay. Now we're done with the line charts. Let's move on to the next chart. Let's move on to the first bar chart. So I'm going to call it bar 1. Bar 1. And for the first bar chart, I'm going to create the bar chart, the horizontal bar chart to your right, which is called what? Total sales per product. Okay, so you can see the total sales per what? Product. Okay, so we're going to create that. So you can see the products and then you can see the sales and you can see their values, their data labels. Let me show you how to do that in the next few minutes. So we have bar 1. So I'm going to come over here and I'll get the products and take it to rows. Beautiful. And then I'll get the total sales and I'll take it to the column. You know, we did this before, if you remember. We did that for the table when we were trying to bring up the total, the top product. Beautiful. So we're going to do this. This is okay. Perfect. So very quickly, to make it look better, to give a story, we're going to filter it or sort it rather from the highest down to the lowest. So to sort it, I clicked here. So don't forget, I clicked here. All right, so once we're done with that, the next thing is I want to remove the noise as usual. I'll come and click here, right click, and click on show header. The noise is gone, and we are good to go. We're still going to come back to this chart, but we're good to go for now. But very quickly, before we go, I don't want to see these products. This is also noise. So I'm going to right click on that product, come over here to product name, right click on it, and go down and say hide field labels for rows. So you can see the product is gone. Awesome. So let's go to bar 2. So I'll click on the sheets and it shows me sheet 7 and I'll change it to what? Bar 2. For bar 2, let's go back. For the second bar chart, it's going to be a vertical bar chart this time. You can see it straight. So we're going to depict the online versus inline store, all right, in terms of sales. So let's go back. So similar to what we did before for bar 1, I'm going to carry sales channel, which is online and inline, to rows. And it's supposed to be 2 columns, actually, 2 columns. And then I'll take the total sales to rows. Let me do that again. Total sales to rows. Yeah, beautiful. So that's how it is. Sales channel to columns, total sales to the rows. This is what we need. This is what we want, okay? So very quickly, we'll remove the noise as usual. I'll come over here to the y-axis. I don't want to be seeing those numbers, okay, because I'm going to use data labels later on. So I'm going to right-click on this, and I'll click on show header. It's gone. I'll move on to sales channel, right-click on it, and I'll click on hide field labels for columns. It's gone. So you can see I'm doing away with the noise, all right? Now we're done with this for now. Let's move on to the next chart, or rather, let's move on to the table. So we're going to click on sheets again, and this time, we're going to create this simple table that shows us the data summary. So it's going to show us the sales channel summary in store online, and then it shows us by what? The products. You can see graphics card, etc., right, as the columns. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to show you how we came about this, because from this, you can see we're making use of 3 features: sales, total sales, we're making use of products, and we're making use of sales channel. So for us to do that, I'm going to carry the sales channel to rows. Then I'll take the products to what? Columns. And then I would sum it up by taking the total sales to rows. Okay, that was supposed to be. In that way, it's going to be, let's just leave it here. So take it to rows, then come over here to show me and change it to a table. It's going to give you this, all right? Remember, I took the product to columns, I saved channels to rows, I took total sales to rows, and then I converted it from a bar chart or bar charts to a single table. That's what I just did, okay? And there we have it. We have what we have there, all right? So very quickly, I'm going to rename this sheet 8 to table. Table, yeah, table is okay. And I'm going to hit enter. All right. So I believe we are done with this. We are actually done with this. Very quickly now, let's start creating our dashboard. Okay, so let's create this. Let's create dashboard. I'm going to go back. So for you to create a dashboard, you're going to click on the middle icon there, which stands for dashboard. You click on it, automatically this comes up. All right. So this is your dashboard sheet. Okay, so we can rename it to just dashboard instead of having it as dashboard 1. Beautiful. Now let's reshape, or rather let's resize the sheets because we're about to draw, right? So let's resize the sheets. We'll move on to the left-hand side, go to size, go to range, go to fixed size. All right. Under fixed size, you're going to have custom. Go to width and just type in what I type in. All right. Once you're doing, just typing what I'm typing in. All right. So the width I'm going to use 1,300 pixels. For the height, I'm going to use 600 pixels. Enter. Okay, let me just cross check this. Yeah. Okay, but let me change it to 1, 2, please. You can change this thing like 100 times, you're not still satisfied. So I'll leave it at 1, 2. And please just feel free to do what you want to do. So now let's create the structure, okay, of the dashboard. So for me to create the structure, the first thing I'm going to do is I'll go down, see under dashboard over here, I'll go down to horizontal container. Now, please watch me. Note this part so that you don't have errors. This is Tableau, you can have errors. Tap the horizontal container once. Hold down your shift key on your laptop, on your keyboard. Hold down your left key as well. Drag it and drop it here. All right, so that is how I'm doing it. Okay, so if you didn't get that, once the recordings are out, you can just rewind it back. Okay, and now I'm just going to resize. I want this to house the header, house the logo, house the title, okay, of the dashboard. So that is what I'm creating here. Good. So we're done with that. We're done creating the horizontal container. Okay. So now we're done. The next thing you're going to do is you go down here to blank. Just drag it. You don't need to do the shift thing I did before. Okay. Just drag it and drop it inside blank. Okay. So I just got the blank, dragged it and dropped it inside the container, please. Sorry about that. Okay. And once you're done, the next thing you're going to do is move on to image. Drag the image and drop it inside the container here. All right. This is hanging. Tableau. Let me wait, please. Hmm. Okay, the Tableau is hanging. Please help me ask Tableau what's going on. Tableau, can you kindly behave? Kindly behave, please. Kindly behave. So this could happen to you, right? So it's not abnormal. Okay. I don't want to close the application. Let me minimize it. Can I minimize this? Okay, it's not even minimizing. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to select the logo. All right, I want to select the logo. Okay, let me see if I could, I don't want to close this because I'll have to start from the start, which is not going to be good. What do I do now? What just happened? Why is this behaving this way? Okay, so let me just end the tax. It has it gone? Okay, it's still there. It's not responsive, so I just have to end it. Okay, it's went off on its own actually. Okay, so let me just restart my Tableau. It's coming up. All right, so I'm not gonna explain what I'm doing. We've already gone through the process, but I'm just gonna do it very, very fast, what we did before. Okay, the next 5 minutes, I'm going to do everything that we did. Okay, so you can just use this as a refresher, all right, for what we're doing. So I'm just gonna create everything again. Tableau has done what it wants to do. I can't complain. All right, so I'm just going to leave it. I'm not going to rename the sheets. Okay, I'll just drag and drop. And just having in mind that we've done what we're supposed to do. All right, okay. So I'm just going to go from sheet to sheet doing what we did before. All right. So this can happen in the workplace. And so once you're working in your Tableau, you can just be saving it. All right. Average, right? Average is the next thing we're supposed to do, which you already know. Don't worry, we're gonna catch up. Yeah, and total sales divided by the count, right? Remember, and order ID. Yeah, okay. No time to waste. Okay, so the last one is gonna be, yeah. So I'm just gonna take products to rows and total sales to column. Okay, you already know what's the drill is. Yeah. So we're good to go. Let's move on to the line chart. I want to rename it. So I'll just take total sales to this and the dates here. All right, so I'm just going to change it to this. All right. And just repetition of what we've done before. Tableau, please don't start again. No. Okay. Right.
Uh, so I think we lost Akuna there for a bit. Okay, so maybe Akuna is having issues with our network, but I'm sure she's gonna be back very, very soon. Okay, so but before she gets back, let's just let's just see what else we have for this session. Let's see what else we have in this session. Okay, we're gonna be expecting Akuna very soon to help us fix up with the Tableau dashboard. I think that's pretty much the last thing that is trying to show us how we can get, our Tableau dashboard set up. All right. Okay, now, so you're gonna go ahead and, tell me that Mobology, what is next up for me? Okay, so now I'm learning how to use Tableau to view the dashboard. Now I'm learning how to be able to, like I said, Tableau is a tool that is common with the data analyst and the data scientist. Okay, so you're gonna be asking me now, how do I transition? How do I don't even know which one to pick. Do I go ahead and choose data analyst route? Do I go ahead and choose the data science route, which is going to be the best one? Now, I want you to understand that at Analytics, we have a range of tech programs. Okay. And this data analyst and data science that we're focusing on tonight, all right, that as a tool in common, the Tableau, all right, you want to understand that we did our diligent homework in selecting all these programs. And we scraped all the top job boards that, is out there. I'm talking about LinkedIn, Indeed, Glassdoors, Total Jobs. Now, we are trying to see which job is actually performing the most. So let me see if Akuna is back on. All right. So I think Akuna is back. All right. So Akuna, the floor is yours. Uh, here. Akuna, are you there? So, okay. I think she's joining right now.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I was trying to unmute, but it wasn't working. Thank you very much.
Oh,
Okay. So let me go on. Thank you very much, Mobolaji. All right. So I'm just going to share my entire screen as I did before, and we'll just continue from where I stopped. All right. Thank you so much. So very quickly, right? Very quickly. So this is where we stopped. Okay. This is where we stopped. So we're trying to remove the noise from here, remember? So I'm just going to right click here, move on show header. Okay. So I'm going to click on sheets as well, as you can see. And then I'm just going to create the table that we created before. Okay. So for us to do that, I will just get the rows. or rather I'll get the sales channel to the rows, I'll get the product ID to the columns, and I'll get the total sales to the rows. And then I'll move over here and click on this. Good. So I'm done. So let's go ahead and create a dashboard. You already know the drill. Resize it, fixed size. All right. Click on fixed size, change it to 1,200 and change this to 600. Enter. Very quickly, you get the horizontal container. Drag and drop the right way. I've told you how to go about that. Okay. And then afterwards, you just resize this. Resize this. And do what you're supposed to do. Yeah, take it to the extreme edge. Very quickly, remember what we were doing before Tableau rudely interrupted us. I'll get the blank, drop it inside here. Okay. Then the next thing I will do is I'll go move on to image. I'll drag it and I'll drop it inside here. So it works. So I'm just gonna choose the logo from my system, which I already have stored somewhere. Okay. So for you, you can use Analytics logo. All right. Repos. So you can use Analytics logo for yours and maybe play around with the colors to fit the color of Analytics logo. Yeah, you could also do that. That's a good idea. All right. So I'm just going to keep on going down until I get to where I have my logo. Beautiful. There we have it. This is the first one. Good. So once you're done, you click on Fit Image, click on Center Image, and click on OK. You're good to go. We have it here now. The next thing you're going to do is you get a text. So I'm just going to drag and drop the text in the middle. Okay. And I'm going to call it Metrics Tech Business. Okay. I'll do Control A and I'll take the size to 20. All right. I'll make it bold and I'll just hit OK. So that's very good. So I can just come to the middle and shift it. All right. Just to resize it so that everything is balanced. So it's supposed to be metrics, not metric. All right. And I'm going to hit OK. So we're done with that. All right. So very quickly, what are you going to do next? You click here. You look at the inverted triangle. Click on Select Container, the horizontal container. All right. Move on to layout. I may be a bit fast, but remember, you can make it slow once you're watching it. All right. So you go down and change the background to black. Nice. Looking like it's beginning to look like what we have there, right? Good. Now I'm going to double click here again on that matrix. I'll do Control A and I'll change it to white. And then I'll hit OK. Now we have what we want. So the next thing I'm going to do is we're going to create the structure for our KPIs. So very quickly, let's move on to dashboard and I'll get the vertical container. I'll hit it once, Shift, take it over here. Oh, Control Z, didn't work. Hit it once, hold down Shift. Yeah, so that worked. I didn't type it the right way before. I didn't hit down Shift the right way. That's why it didn't work. So I'm just going to reshape it or resize it and take it down. Okay. And I'll try to take it down to the last one, just down. Okay. Nice. So once you're done doing that, the next thing you're going to do now is you're just going to fill it up with the KPIs, all right? So I'm just going to get the blank, drag it and drop it inside here. Then we'll move up. So we have, I think the first one is sheet 1, right? That's for the total sales. I'll get total sales. Normally you name your cell, you don't get confused. So I have sheet 1 here. Drag it again, drop sheet 2 just beneath sheet 1. Drag sheet 3, drop it beneath sheet 2. Drag sheet 4, drop it beneath sheet 3. And there we have it. Very simple, okay? Then you come over here. You click on this just once, the first part. You click on the inverted triangle to allow it to take the entire space. So I'll go and click on Fit. I'll go down to Entire View. So it takes the entire view. I'll do it for the second one. Click here, change it to entire view. Click here, change it to entire view. Come here, change it to entire view. And then I'm going to click the first one again, click on it, and select the vertical container so that everything can be even. And I'll change it to distribute container evenly. So we have done that, all right? So once you do this, it's going to be easy. Okay, so very quickly, all right, to also move on, I'm just going to come over here. I'm going to double click on it, and I'm going to do Control A. I'll call it total sales. I'll do Control A, and I'll change it to white. So you'll not be seeing it again, all right? But that's fine. I'll change it to white. I'll change it to size 10, and I'll click on OK. It's still there, but you can't just see it, all right? So don't worry. So I'll double click on this as well. I'll do Control A. I'll change it to 10. I'll change it to white. I'll centralize it. I just remembered, and I'll hit OK. I'll do it for this next one. I'll do that. Okay, I didn't change the names, right? Okay, so what I'm doing right now is I'm just doing the same thing I did for the first one, okay? So let me just change the name. The third one is going to be average. Okay, we can't see it. Average sales. All right, let's just go invisible for now. I'll double click here. I'll do Control A. I remove it. And I'm going to call it what? Total units price. I'll hit OK. So once you're doing yours, please do it when it's dark, all right? When it's black, rather. Okay, so I'm going to call this, already have it as total sales. So I'll just justify it to the center. I'll hit OK. I'm going to show you why. So I'm just going to, I've hit here, right? I'm going to go over to layout, and I'm going to change it from the background white towards black. So now you can see it. I'll click here. I'll change it from background to black. Don't leave here, just be clicking on it. I'll change it from the background towards black. I'll click here as well, change it from the background towards black. Right now, this is making sense. I'm just going to hit the last one. All right, I'm going to do Control A, and I'm going to change it to what? Total, or rather top products. Top product sale. Right? Good. All right, I'm just going to do Control A. I'll change it to 10, change it to white, centralize it, hit OK, and there we have it. All right, so we're done with the first card. Not completely done, but we're done for now. So now let's create the other places, the other charts structure. So for the rest, I'm going to use vertical containers, and I'm going to duplicate them. All right, so I'm going to come over here. I'll click on the vertical container just once, hit the Shift key down, drag it and drop it here. Looks nice, right? So I'll just drag it down a bit, drag it to the right a bit, drag it down again, drag it to the right a little bit. Then I'll come over here while it's still selected, click on the inverted triangle and do copy dashboard item. Then I'll do paste. Control V, Control V, Control V. So I've pasted it 3 times. So I'm just going to come over here and drag and drop it. So I can just reduce this so I can see it very well. So I'll come over here. I'll drag and drop it. Select the other container. Drag and drop it just beneath. Select this one. Drag and drop it here. You can see that it's gaining form, right? All right. So I'm just going to do that. And then I'm going to resize it very quickly. Very quickly. So I'm trying to select this. Yeah. Very quickly. What am I doing? I'm just resizing. No big deal. I'm just resizing. Good to go. So once you're doing yours, you can make it as perfect as you want it to be, all right? So very quickly, I'm just going to drag and drop the charts into this amazing, beautiful, well-sized container. So I'm going to come over here to this triangle, click on it, then I'll continue my journey. Sheet 5 is the line chart, as you can see over here. When I hover over it, you can see the chart, all right? So I will just drag this and drop it inside here. So it's inside now. And I will just click on this light just once, and I'll go down. I'll just tap this once, and I'll go down. My down arrow key. I'll go to sheets. 6, I can see is the vertical bar chart. I'll come and drag it and drop it here. Sheet 7 is the horizontal bar chart. I'll drag it and drop it here. Sheet 8 is the table. I'll drag it and drop it to this. Nice. So we can see it's gaining form, right? Good. So very quickly, let's make some edits, okay? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to change the title. And the title is what? Let's go back to our slides. So trend of sales over time, right? So let's just double click on this and change it, Control A, trend of sales over time. I'll do Control A, and I'm going to change it to white because I'm about to change it to black, right? So it's okay, it's justified to the left. The size is okay, please. Let's just leave it there, all right? But if you want to change yours, feel free. I'll go to the next one. And the next one is what? Total sales per product. I'm going to double click on sheet 7. I'll do Control A, and I'll say total sales per product. I'll do what? Control A once again, and I'll change it to what? White. We are good to go. Click on OK and move on. So I can see product here again, so I'll just right click on this product. I did it before at the beginning, but I didn't do it again. So the product is gone. So let's move on to the last one. Since this, I'm going to double click on this. I'll do Control A. I'm going to say online versus inline channels, right? Control A, white, okay. You know the drill. So I'm going to double click on the sheet 8 as well. And I'm going to do data summary. I'm going to do Control A. I'll just change it to data summary quickly. And I'll do Control A again and change it to white. I'm going to hit OK. Yeah, good to go. All right. So now let's just start with the first chart again. So I'm going to click on the first chart. I'm going to look at the inverted triangle. I'll go to fit, entire view. Okay, it's okay. So I'm just going to click on this triangle over here, and I'm going to change the layout to black. So I'm going to click on layout, and I'll go down to background, change it to black. I won't leave there. I'll click on the next chart, change it to black. I won't leave here as well. Click on the next chart, change it to black. I won't leave here as well. The final table, or the only table, change it to black. So I'm good to go. We're done with that. All right, but you can see that in between, inside here, it's not black. So what can we do? So I'm just going to right click inside the chart, click on Format. I'll move on to the right-hand side, click on this fill icon. When you're doing yours, you make everything slow. Click on the fill icon, click on the worksheets, click on black. Interesting. Do that for the second chart. Click on the second chart. Just click on it. Don't leave this place. Click on the second chart. Go to, okay, I think I left where I was supposed to be. I clicked on the second chart. All right, so let me just right click on this, please. Let's not waste time. Okay, click on the fill, click on the worksheets, and click on black. All right, so we have that. So let's go down, right click here as well, click on Format to avoid issues, click on Fill, click on Worksheets, click on black. Come down here to the table, right click there as well, click on Format, right click on it. Maybe let's pick a value, right click on the value, click on Format. Go to click on Format, right click on Format, go to Fill, change the worksheet to black, and there we have it. All right, so the other one is misbehaving a bit. Let's just leave that. I'm going to come back to that later. So I'm done with this. All right, so you can see it's taking shape, right? So very, very quickly, the next thing I'm going to do is I want to make this look good, this other part, the 8,000 and something. So I'm just going to right click on it. I'll click on Format. So I'm just doing my final formatting. I'll move on to Field, click on Sum Total. All right, then click on automatic, click on centralize. You can see it has been centralized. Click on number, come down to number custom. You want to make it, I want to be seeing, instead of seeing 800 and 7,000, blah, blah, blah. The number is too long. Let's just make it 800K. All right, so I'm going to reduce the decimal place to 0. I'll do that. I'll move down to display units, take it down to thousands, and there you have it, 808,000. So I'm going to do the same thing for the rest of them. But before I move forward, I'm going to go to fonts, and I'm going to change the font to 15. I'm going to make it bold, okay? And there we have it. This is okay. And I'm going to go to fill, and I'm going to change the worksheet to black. Good. And I will go back to the number field, sum total under field, and I'm going to change it to white. I should have done this since, right? So there we have it. There we have it. You can make yours bigger. I think if it's bigger, it's going to look better. But let's just do with this for now. So the same thing I did for this, I'm going to do it for the next one. Let's do it together. Right click, format, click on field, sum of units, Tableau, change it to 15, all right, or 20. Click on white, hit enter. Click on white, make it bold. Centralize it, all right. Click on numbers, go down to custom, reduce decimal places. Display units should become thousands, and move on to fill icon. Go to the sheets, change the worksheet towards black, and there we have it. Next one, right click, click on format, click on field, AGG, that's for aggregation. Click on fill, click on the worksheet, make it black, all right. Go back to A, all right, click on row, or rather click on field, click on that. Go to Tableau, change it to 15, click, hit enter, change it to white, click on bold, all right, click on automatic, centralize it, all right, and then let's change it to K, reduce the decimal place to 2, custom K, all right, let's do it for the last number, right, format, let's start with field, sum total, Tableau, 15, that's the font size, make it bold, 15 again, hit enter, make sure you always hit enter, click on white, all right, automatic, take it to the center, all right, go to numbers, go down to number custom, reduce decimal place, not increase, reduce the decimal place to 0, all right, go down to display units, make it thousands, all right, good, we're good to go. Then let's move on to the fill, all right, click on fill, go to sheets, change the worksheet to black, and then we have it. There we have it. That was a lot. All right, just slow the video down, all right? Let's make it slow. So what I'm going to do is, yeah, you can see the blank. That blank I put to CS. I'm just going to right click and click on remove from dashboard so everything can just take the entire space. There we have it, looking good and classy. Next thing I'm going to do now is I want to remove the lines. So you can see these lines. We call them the row lines, okay? So I'm just going to go back to, okay, I can do it for me. I'm going to right click on the line. I'll click format. I'll click on this line over here and I'll change the grid line to none. All right. The row line to none. Just make sure everything is none. Okay, good. It looks better. I'll do the same thing for this one. I would right click. All right. Click on format. Come down here. Click on these lines. Click on the grid line. None. Rows, none. Sheets, none. All right, so it's already on none. So you can see that the grid lines are gone from the total sales per product. I'm going to do the same thing for the last chart, which is this. I'm going to right click on it. I'm going to click on format. I'm going to come over here, click on this line over here. Then I can see sheets, rows, columns. I'm going to go to rows. I can see the grid line selected, so I will say none. All right, I'll go to columns. Columns are already none, so I can see that. Nice. All right, interesting. So we're making progress, right? We're making progress. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to click here, this inverted triangle for online versus inline. Make sure it's entire view. Okay, it's entire view. I'll come to this other one, cross-check it. Make sure it's an entire view. It's not entire view, so I'm going to change it to entire view. Beautiful. You can see that something has changed. It looks better. All right, now let's go to the last one, which is the table. Table, I'm going to change it to entire view. I'll select this, click on the inverted line, triangle, go to fit, change it to entire view, and now we have the entire view. All right, so it's showing you ash because the table is sort of joined together, so we need more space. So you can actually increase your sheet size to, let's say, 1,500, so that your table can stretch and all the values can be displayed. All right, so that's one thing you could also do, or you can follow what I'm about to do. All right, so I'm going to come over here to this product. I'm going to right click on it, and I'm going to say hide field label. I don't want to see that. All right, and so let's go back to the table. So I'm going to go to sheet 8. So this is the table. I want to reduce the dimension for all the numbers. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to right click on this number. Okay, and I'm going to click on format. All right, and I'm going to come over here, click on field, click on sum total. All right, then I'll come down here to number formats, click on custom, reduce the decimal places, and come down and change it. The display needs to K. So you can see everything has changed. All right, but we're not done. I want to make it white. So I'm going to go to the font and I'm going to change it to white. Good, looks better. You can do other things to it, okay, as you please. All right, so I can come over here. I'm going to change the titles to something reasonable. Okay, white. I'm going to right click on that. I'm going to click on format. All right, so I'm showing you the drill so that you can play around these things on your own. Let's do that again. Right click on this, click on format. Okay, and I can come over here to this, change it to white. Okay, I can come over here, change it to white as well. Okay, so you can just play around that, play around everything, change it to white. All right, just play around everything and you'll be good to go. All right, you can come to A, select the product names. Okay, we have the header there, click on fonts, click on white, everything changes to white. Okay, so you can go back and see what I just did again. All right. Okay, very fast class. I know. So let's go back to our dashboard. So you can see our dashboard is, the table is looking a bit better. Okay, except for this white part. I'll have to go back and change it. But before I look at this part, let's change this blue to the bright blue. Okay. Okay, I'm going to show you something that is really nice. Some of you already know about that. So if I want to change this blue to the blue on the logo, I'm going to click on color. I'm going to come down to more colors. All right, I'm going to click on pick screen color. All right, but we don't have anything there. I don't want to pick just any screen color. Okay, I don't want this. I'm going to click on cancel. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my logo, as you can see on the screen, and I'm going to minimize it. I'm going to drag it down. I'm also going to minimize my Tableau dashboard. And okay, sorry, this is not supposed to show. Sorry. Yeah, so this is it. All right, so let me just make it smaller, very small. I just want to pick the color, basically. All right. So I'm just going to drag this. Okay, let me do that properly. I think I can drag it from here. Okay. So I'll just drag it here. And I'll take this up a bit. Good. So I'm just going to click on color. I'll click on more colors. I'll click on pick screen color. Then I'll come here and select the color of my logo so that everything can be uniform. I'll click on OK, and we're good to go. So you can see that it has been changed to the color on our logo. All right. So I'm going to do this for the other one. It's already stored there. So I'll just click on this and the last color over here. So it changes. Do we have another thing we need to change? Yes, the line itself. So I'm going to click on color and I'll click on the last line. Beautiful. So we're good to go with that. So let me increase this again so that you can see what we have done. Nice. Now I have one more final touch to this to make sure everything is okay. I can just select the entire horizontal container and take it to the right. Okay, I can click here, right click, and remove from the dashboard the blank. All right, so I'm going to click on dashboard. I'm going to click on in the middle. Then I'm going to click on dashboard. Then I want to put a horizontal container to change the background. So I'm going to click on the horizontal container. I'm not doing shift. I'm just going to carry it and just drop it. Yeah, so you can see everything just went grayed out. That means it's working. All right, so I'm going to click in between. I'm clicking the horizontal container. I'll click on layout. I'll change the background and I'll change it to this shade, the second black. Nice. So there we have it. There we have it. There we have it. So you can see everything is coming out very well. Okay. So finally, I'm going to go back. I want to show you something. I'm going to resize it. I'm going to click on size. All right, over here under this total sales per product, you go to size and just take it down so it looks better to the middle. So I'm just resizing it. You can see it's slimmer. All right, it's more slender. I'll do that. I'll do the same thing for this as well. So I'm just going to click on size, take it to the middle so that it looks better. All right, so I'm going to go to dashboard and there we have it. There we have it. All right, so you can also click on that as well. Click on this. Click on label, mark label. So show mark label is actually going to show you the data points. Okay, so you click on show mark label, click on font, all right, reduce it to 7, hit enter, and it's smaller. All right, so you can replay that. Go back to sheet 7, click on label. You're trying to add data labels, click on show mark label. All right, click on font, change it to 7, and hit enter. Right, so you can see now we have mark labels. So there we have it, there we have it. All right, so another thing we need to do is, how can you save your work? You can click to see your entire view. Now for this part, you can just right click and do what I did before to change this, okay? You can also change the background color, go to format and change the background color for this row, okay? Same thing, same thing. All right, so how do you want to save this? How can you save this? I'm going to click escape. I'll come over here to file. All right. Make sure that you have an account with Tableau Public. But if you don't have, you can make an account here. So I'm going to say save to Tableau Public. All right. So that is how you do it. You save it to Tableau Public and it takes you to a website. All right. Where it saves your work to the cloud, where you can download it and share with your friends, etc. So you can watch tutorials online on how to save your Tableau project. Thank you so much, everybody. Yeah, this is the prompt. Okay, if you're coming here for the first time, you'll be asked to sign in for the first time. All right, but thank you so much, everyone. This is how you can go about creating a simple dashboard using Tableau. Thank you so much, Mubalaji. I hope today's session was interesting. All right, so you can always go back and learn 1 or 2 things. Thank you, Mubalaji. Over to you.
All right, Aquina, thank you so much. I mean, I could see emojis on the chat, trying to say thank you for, showing us how we could get around Tableau. We had a little bit of hassle with Tableau again, but, you came in and then you fixed everything. So I know we could see that, she sped up the whole dashboarding process, right? And what happens is this, don't be overwhelmed, okay? Once you come in, and join the community, you will be able to go that fast. All right. You'll be able to go that fast to be able to handle whatsoever. I mean, she knows her stuff, and that's why she can literally speed up the whole dashboarding thing. So let me quickly share my screen, and this is where it gets the most interesting for everyone on the call that has waited up until now. This is where it gets the most interesting. So if you have a popcorn, just quickly grab a popcorn, and then let's show you how to get really started. Let's show you how to transition into tech. Now, what do I mean by this? Okay. And what I'm trying to say is this, like I was saying before, now you have, 1 second, I think let me get back to my screen. Okay, good. So now Now you have learned how to use Tableau to be able to build a dashboard. Now, a dashboard contains visuals from your data set that provides insights to the stakeholders, to your manager. So you can see from that dashboard that we have the total sales, we have the product that was making the the highest number of sales. So now the company has insight onto which product is doing most amazingly well. They can stock up more of those products. The company has insight into how other products are doing. And this is, how you can actually be able to use Tableau to provide value to whatsoever organization that you are working with. Now, like I said, Tableau is a tool that is used by both data analysts and data scientists. And now you're going to ask me, Mobology, how do I know? I'm absolutely new in tech. Okay, I don't have any prior knowledge. I did not study computer science in school. I did not study any of these things. How do I know which to go for, data analyst or data science? Okay, I'm going to be answering that question in a second. Now, in all of these programs, okay, you want to be sure that at Analytics, we did our homework in selecting the programs that we train our students in. What we did, like I was saying earlier, is we went ahead to scrape all the top major job boards out there. So I'm talking about LinkedIn, Indeed, Glassdoor, Total Jobs. We scraped all these job boards to be able to figure out which jobs are top performing out there, which jobs are recruiters looking, to hire the most. And then we got a couple of jobs, right? We got a couple of data roles, and then we went ahead to further filter all these jobs, right, through three major lenses. Ease of learning. So which tech career paths can I get into that is very easy for me to learn? Now, ease of transitioning. Which tech career paths can I get into without having a prior computer degree, computer science, computer engineering degree in school? Now, which tech career paths can I get into that will offer me a high and rewarding salary? Okay. Now, the two career paths that we are shining the spotlight on this evening, data analyst and data science, they meet all these three criteria. They are easy to learn, they are easy to transition into, all right, and then they have a high rewarding salary. Okay. Now, what you want to understand is this. Now, this is a shocker, but in the next 5 years, right, a total of 170 million tech jobs will be created, and over 92 million jobs will disappear. And you go like, oh, Mobalaji, how do you know this fact? How do you know this for sure? Okay, how do I know you're not just telling me, all this, cock and bulls? Now, what we did at Analytics is we went ahead to do what we call an external validation from the WEF, that's the World Economic Forum. Now, the World Economic Forum is a professional body that releases reports on the future of jobs. So they let you know which jobs are going to be, getting on the high side, right, increasing in demand, and they let you know which jobs are going to be declining. Now, when we did this external validation, okay, you can check out my screen here. The sources, the slides, the recordings, they're all going to be made available to you after this session. But what you want to do is fill in the attendance form so you can get all those resources that we are using for this session. So like I was saying, all right, the WEF, okay, it's on their website, their official website, okay? They put a graph of the fastest growing jobs, all right, out there. And like I said, in the next five years, a couple of jobs, about 170 million are going to be created. And the vast majority of them are seen here on the slides, the one that are fastest growing. So we see the first on the list, that's the big data specialist. Okay, the second one, we have the fintech engineers, right? The third one, we have the AI and machine learning specialists. And that actually makes sense because we are literally in the artificial intelligence era. This is the AI era. So little wonder why AI is actually the third on the list. We have the fourth, software and applications developers. That makes sense. And a whole lot of that. Now, the number one job on the list that is the fastest growing job that is going to constitute the 170 million jobs that are going to be created in the next 5 years is the big data specialist And who are these guys? It's simply the data analyst and the data scientist. Okay. And then you can see that we'll just introduce you into a major toolkit that these guys, the data analysts and data scientists, that they use day to day, at their workplace. That is Tableau, right? And this is just to whet your appetite into, what tools that these high in demand tech role professionals, the tools that they make use of on a daily basis. Now, the data analyst and data scientist is just a job title. They are numerous and a number of roles that you can apply to. So now, if you come in for the data analyst program, you can apply to jobs as a data analyst, a business intelligence analyst, marketing analyst, sales analyst, and so on. If you come in for the data science, you can apply for roles right in data analytics, in data science, machine learning engineer, forecasting analyst, demand planning, and so on. Okay. Now this will make more sense to you in a second. Okay. When I begin to literally, differentiate, who a data analyst is, and who a data scientist is. So you begin to know which one tilts towards your, your personality type, which one tilts towards your arithmetical, composure. Now, I want to share a very, very interesting gist for us. And now, what is this gist? Now, we all know Elon Musk. Now, Elon Musk is the richest man in the world. All right, and he runs the SpaceX. He runs Twitter, which is currently known as X. He runs Tesla. And January 15th, specifically, right, this year, he put out a tweet and he was like, his company, they're looking for new employees. And they do not care if you went to a fancy school, they do not care if you went to Harvard, if you went to Yale, they do not even care if you have worked with all, one of these big name companies. What they need is show us your code, show us what you have done, and then let's get talking. And that particular tweet, that particular statement, literally shifted, right, the world of the job market. Okay, so what happens is this now, the era of certification is over. Nobody cares anymore. Show us your skills, show us your experience. Now, recruiters and hiring managers, they've gone ahead, tilted their hiring, they're hiring the skill set towards professionals that have skills, that have experience. They're looking for not the names, they're not looking for certification. Have you done this before? Can you use this tool? All right. Can you get the job done for us? What have you done before that you can come in and be able to help our organization save money, make us more money, and optimize our processes? Now, I like to use this particular scenario to explain this to people so that it drives the point, home clearer. Now, let's assume, I'm going to be asking a question after this, so I want us to pay attention so that you can get an idea of what I'm trying to say here. Now, let's assume you are going on a trip, a very, very urgent trip. And then you got into your car, you started your car, and for some weird reason, your car is not going to start. And this is a very, very urgent trip. Okay. And now you have mechanics that you can reach out to. But the first mechanic that you can reach out to is a mechanical engineer that graduated from Harvard. All right. Now, he has a certification that shows that he's a mechanical engineer, but he does not have a workshop. He does not have, a showroom of cars that he has worked on. Don't forget that you are in a hurry. Now you have another, mechanic that although he does not have all these fancy certificates, he didn't go to Harvard, but he has a mechanic workshop. You can see the cars that he has worked on. He has worked on Toyota, Aston Martin, Benz, all right? And you are in, you are in this fix. But remember that you are in a hurry. So now I'm going to ask a question to everyone on this session. Who are you most likely to employ to fix your car, say that you are in a hurry? Are you going to hire the mechanical engineer from Harvard that does not have, a workshop to show you, the cars that he has worked on? can't show you, his experience, or you're going to hire a particular mechanic that does not have all those fancy, certificates, but he has to prove that he has worked on numerous cars. So if you are going for the Harvard mechanical engineer, I want you to put in the chat this. But if you want to go for the mechanic that does not have the fancy certificates, I want you to put that in the chat. So let me see who we are going to be able to hire, seeing that we are in a hurry. I want to just be able to get if we're actually following, all right, and if we are actually, getting a grasp of what is going on. So who are we going for? This or that? So let's see what's going on in the chat. This or that, okay? This or that. I'm trying to see. Okay, so I'm getting that right from Patricia. Okay, so go ahead. So are you hiring this or that? So let's see. I think I got Patricia that says that. So let's see who's following. Who's following? All right, who's following? All right, so I'm getting that. All right, good. And now that makes sense. I mean, you would rather have somebody who has worked on, projects, okay? Who has experience, not just the paper. All right, so I think Decipher is also saying that. You want somebody who has done something that they can show to you. All right, that is the person that you are most likely to employ to fix your car. Now, this is the same mindset. Okay, so Reka said obviously that. That's good. Now, this is the same mindset that, hiring managers, recruiters that they have when they are trying to employ people. Okay, they are not literally looking for all those fancy certificates. What they need is the skills. Can you show me what you have done? Can you show me how, the data set you have? So now you told me that you are a data analyst. Can I see the projects that you have worked on? You told me that you are a data scientist. Can I see the machine learning models that you have built for prediction? Okay, so that is where we come in here at Analytics to be able to offer you that project-based approach to learning so that you can be able to speak confidently in interviews with your hiring managers. You can show them your skill set, you can show them your portfolio that is filled with projects upon projects in different sectors that you have worked on. And most definitely, they will be picking, that. Okay, so they will be picking the participants that have the experience, that have the skill. So now let's quickly jump into the complete data analyst and data science toolkits that will land you that tech role in 2025. Okay, now this is where I'm going to literally split the major difference between the data analyst and the data scientist. So you know which one to go for. Now, tech roles, I like to call them that they have personality types. Okay, so you want to know which one suits more to your type of personality. Okay, which one is going to offer you the softest landing. Now, the truth is this: you can learn any tech. Okay, you can learn any tech role. All right, but you want to tilt towards the tech role that suits your personality, the tech role that suits your intellectual capacity. Now, the data analysts, who are these guys? Now, it's very simple, right? Data analysts are professionals that go into a company to answer two major problems. Number one, descriptive analytics. Number two, diagnostic analytics. Now, what do I mean in simple terms? Now, descriptive analytics is talking about what happened. So you're helping the company understand what happened in their data set. Now, the second question they're going to be answering for them is why it happened. That is the diagnostic analytics. So now, for example, a company made a lot of money during their last fiscal year, and they made money in the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. You, as a data analyst, you are able to walk them through, the amount of money they made in each quarter and different channels to which those money are coming in from. That is what happened with descriptive analytics. Now, the diagnostic comes in where you are now helping them understand why are we making so much money. For example, if we made the most amount of money at the fourth quarter of the year, Why is it that we made the most amount of money at this particular quarter? Did we increase our marketing budget? Did we roll out, social media campaigns? Was there a seasonality index that happened at the fourth quarter? Because if the company can understand what happened during that particular quarter that made them make the most amount of money, they can then begin to double down on that particular strategy. And this is where you come in as a data analyst to be able to help a company understand the descriptive analytics and the diagnostic analytics. And what are the tools you'll be using to help the company to be able to answer these questions? Number one, problem solving. We're going to, sharpen your problem solving skill. Number two, Microsoft Excel. So we're going to teach you how to use Microsoft Excel end to end. So I'm talking importing your data into Microsoft Excel, cleaning your data. So you could hear Akuna earlier. She was telling you that she's working with an absolutely clean data. Okay, so as a data analyst, you are going to have to clean your data yourself. Okay, so you can use Excel to do all of that. Number three, SQL. Now, SQL is the short form for structured query language. It is the language of the database. So it's the language that you use to communicate with the database to be able to query the data and get whatever information you need from your data. So we're going to teach you how to write that SQL syntax, okay? Making you a data genius. Then we're going to teach you Power BI and Tableau. So Tableau was just what Aquina used to create that dashboard that can provide insight to your stakeholders. So we're going to teach you how to use these business intelligence tools to create those dashboards right there. Then data story. How do you tell a data story? ChatGPT for analytics, Microsoft Fabrics for analytics. Okay. Now, this is 2025. Whatsoever tech, career that you're learning and that you are not making use of AI, you want to ask, you want to question that process all over again, because we are literally in the artificial intelligence era where you want to be able to leverage how to use AI to be able to get your work done faster, be more productive, automate your processes. Okay. So now this is what happens in the data analyst tech career path. You're answering two major questions. Don't forget descriptive analytics, diagnostic analytics. Now let's quickly jump into the second one, the data sciences. So now let's see if it's something that you might actually find some interesting. Now, you know what a data analyst does, but with the data scientists, you want to see them as super or master data analysts. Why? This is because a data scientist can do everything a data analyst can do, and they can do more. So what that means is a data scientist can answer descriptive analytics, they can answer the diagnostic analytics, and they go further into what we call the predictive analytics. Okay, so what do? They leverage statistics and machine learning techniques to be able to forecast into the future. They can tell you what will happen into the future. So they are like your spiritualists, all those, what do I call them? The traditionalists, the people that can, the seers that can see into the future. So the data science offers you the tools that you need to be able to see into the future. You can predict what happens. So you can answer questions about what happened in the past, all right, and then what can happen in the future. Okay. So now, how do you go out to do this? Now, for you to get into data science, you want to be somebody who is very comfortable with Python programming language. Okay. So if you're somebody that has done a little bit of Python in the past, or you are open to learning Python programming language, okay, you can get into data science and begin to start your career in data science. Okay, so when you are learning how to build models that can, for example, a data scientist can build a model that can predict customer churn. What is customer churn? Customer churn talks about customers that are going to stop patronizing you in the coming time, in the nearest future. So a data scientist can beforehand look into the future by using the correct data, training a machine learning model on that data to be able to predict the customers that are liable to stop patronizing you. Now, when the company gets a hand on this insight, now they can further, shoot marketing, we can shoot, some incentives to these customers that are liable to churn in the future, okay, so that they can keep them and prevent them from churning. So this is something that a data scientist can do, and a whole lot more. A data scientist gets into what we call the computer vision. Okay, so you see application of computer vision in speed cameras where you see there's a particular camera, right, that can be able to identify which particular car is overspeeding amongst all the cars in the traffic. You can see the traffic camera that can identify a particular car that is crossing the red light. So what happened was a data scientist who wrote an algorithm, okay, that is able to track what is going on the traffic. So this is one thing that you will be able to do as a data scientist because one of the application is computer vision. Now, if you have any interest, you have any inclination of getting into artificial intelligence, okay, you want to be able to write algorithms that can power an AI powered application. Okay, you want to be able to deploy AI powered applications. Okay, you want to get into AI fully. Data science is the place to start from because AI is a subset of data science. Okay, so these are many things. I mean, the opportunities are widespread. And you can see that these two programs, okay, they offer high rewarding salary. I mean, for example, in the US, the average salary of a data scientist is 121,000 US dollars per annum. And you know that when we're talking about average, we're talking about we are considering the lowest and the highest, okay? So what it means is you can actually earn upwards of 121,000 US dollars per annum. Okay, for the data analyst, you can earn upwards of $72,000 per annum. So these are tech career paths that are high in demand that offer you that flexibility to be able to work remotely. Okay, now at Analytics, we have what we call the job offer equation. While I'm bringing this to a close, I want to show you how, how much invested we are in helping you land a job. Okay, we are not just all about the technical skills. Okay, come and learn Python, come and learn Excel, come and learn this. No, we are actually more concerned about you landing a role. Okay, but we have a job equation formula called the T plus E equals job offer. The technical skills that you learn in the classroom plus the employability skills, they equal the job offer. Because the truth is this: once you pick a particular tech skill and you learn, I mean, there are platforms out there that offers training in tech, data analytics training, data science training. But once you pick up a skill, you learn how to become a data analyst. What happened is this: you just joined the bandwagon of the numerous, 1,001 data analysts or data scientists out there looking to get a job. Okay, so now what is going to separate you in the job market from this data analyst? Okay, what is going to give you the edge? That is where we come in here at Analytics. Okay, with the employability skills. Number one is the CV review. We are going to teach you how to be able to tailor your CV to the particular role that you are applying for. Okay, how do you tailor your CV to that particular role so that you can pass the applicant tracking system? That's the ATS. A lot of people don't even get called back on interview. They keep applying for jobs and they don't get an interview. This is because most times their CV is not, tailored to that particular role that they are applying for. So we'll teach you how to be able to beat that ATS. Then we go into the LinkedIn optimization session. So LinkedIn is one of the highest recruiters of tech level. And I think last year alone, they did hundreds of billions of dollars in revenue. So what that means is this: your next tech job is literally flying around LinkedIn as we speak. Okay? But how do you position yourself to be very visible to these, recruiters? All right. So how do you position yourself to be very, very visible to these recruiters? All right. How do you be very, very open on LinkedIn so that recruiters can find you? That is where we come in with the LinkedIn optimization. Okay, so we teach you how to be able to upload projects, how to be able to network with people so that recruiters can easily find you and shoot you DMs for job openings. I mean, I literally get DMs, every now and then on LinkedIn about, okay, hello, there's a particular job opening. Are you willing to, speak, with a recruiter over, Zoom or over Google Meet for an interview? I didn't even apply for these roles, but this is because my LinkedIn profile is optimized. I keep getting jobs offer now, and now and then. So you need an optimized LinkedIn profile. We're going to help you with that. Then once you land an interview, we'll prepare you for the interview before you go in for that actual interview. Now, how amazing is that? That increases your level of confidence for you going for the interview. Then the job reference letter. Okay, so now you finally land a particular role. Okay, I'm sure your recruiter is going to be asking you for a job reference letter from where you worked in previously so that they can be able to verify your credibility. All right. And then you have the weekly mentorship session, pop-up optimization. Now, all of these things are going to be what you'll be exposed to on a weekly basis when you come in for the program. So when you benefit from the technical training and the employability services, this improves and increases your employability index to over 95%. In simple terms, it's going to make you very, very employable. Okay, so what I'm saying is there's a whole lot of things to gain when you come in for the program. All right, so you would have the opportunity to be able to include Analytics and Amdari on your CV, on your resume. So Analytics is a top-notch company in the edtech firm. All right, Amdari is a top-notch company in the consulting space. Okay, now the program that we offer you is an 8-month program. It's an 8-month training program where you are going to be learning in class for 6 months with Analytics, and then the 2 months is going to be an internship with Amdari. So you are already going to be able to claim work experience from 2 top-notch companies in the data space. Now, how amazing is that? I know, right? It doesn't get any better. And then you want to know that Analytics is accredited by the American Council of Training and Development. We are registered in Canada, and we are also in the Alberta Catalyzer Velocity Program. Okay, so we have our tentacles spread across. We are legit, and we have our tentacles spread across. If you are looking to, land roles in any of these regions. Okay, now you will say, Mobalaji, can you walk me through some of the success stories? I need to see what you are saying is legit. The people that have gone through the program, what have they been able to accomplish? Now, let me quickly walk you through some of our testimonials, okay? These are our previous students that came into the program, and now they've landed high-paying tech roles from wherever they are in the world. Now, let's start with Abdul Rashid. Now, Abdul Rashid resides in Nigeria, okay, but he landed a full-time role as a data scientist with Child 420 in the US, working remotely after training with Analytics on the full stack data science program. I mean, how amazing is that to be able to reside in Nigeria, all right, or anywhere in the world and be able to, work remotely and earn in foreign currency. You can also see the lady there, Bukola Adeliga. She also joined our data science program. She landed a role in Poland. And you see, like, the skill that you are going to be exposed to, they are going to enable you to be able to land roles, in foreign currency, in foreign countries, and in foreign currencies. Now, let's see for data analysts, right? So you can see Tony. Now, Tony is in the UK. She came in for the data analyst program, and she landed a role with NHS as a benefit analyst, and this role came with full visa sponsorship. So again, these skills are high in demand, and you have roles that have the label of a full visa sponsorship as long as you have the skills for this role. You can see the next person right there, Benga. So Benga landed a role as a business data analyst, okay, after being unemployed for 2 years. Imagine having that unemployment gap, okay? Alternatives can help you bridge that gap, okay? And Benga landed a role, and then it works also in Poland. Can you see again? So these are people landing roles in the Europe, landing roles in Canada, in North America, literally from wherever you are. in the world. Okay, and so we have, it's an unending list of our alumni networks. Okay, so you can actually join them. Now you want to ask me, Mobology, what are the next steps? What do I do next? Okay, how do I get into this program, either the data analyst or the data science, so I can pick up this, premium skills, get this high paying roles, and I can, just swerve into this, next phase of my life where I'm enjoying my job. I have, job satisfaction. I'm getting a lot of, income, revenue, and I am doing fantastically well. So now the answer is this. We have our next cohort resuming for the 10th of May. Okay, so you want to be able to register with us for the 10th of May. Come in and pick all these high in demand skills. Now, what is the payment structure for the program? Like I said, it's an entire 8 month program. Okay, and then the program is originally 900 US dollars for the entire 8 months. Originally 900 US dollars. But we are currently running a slot-based discount for the first 200 people to register for this course. Now, this is to encourage us to literally get into this thing as fast as you can. I always like to tell people that the earlier, the better. Okay, it's always the earlier, the better. So if you are willing to be able to lock in your spot and make your payments on time, okay, we are willing to give you a discount where you'll be paying 750 US dollars instead of the 900 US dollars. Okay, and it gets better. You can spread your payments and pay instrumentally, where you're paying 5 times. So you can spread out 750 US dollars over a 5 month period, where you can pay 150 US dollars per month for the next 5 months. Okay, that gives you the flexibility of payments. But you want to understand that this is for the first 20 people to register for this coming cohort. All right. So a link is going to be going on in the chat that is going to literally take you to the payments page. And I'm going to walk us very, very quickly, all right, on how you can lock in your spots and make your payments as fast as possible. All right. So 1 second while I do that. So once you click on the link in the chat, what it does is this. It takes you to this payment page right here. All right. You want to scroll all the way down and you're going to see where it says data analytics right here. If you want to pay for the data analytics program. Okay. And then you're going to see where it says the full stack data science right here at the bottom also, if you want to pay for the data science program. Okay. So now let's assume I want to make payments for the data science program. I'm going to go ahead and click on register for the FSDS, that's the full stack data science. Okay. So 1 second while my screen is just loading right there. So now you can see that we have the page for the full stack data science. All right. And you can see that it says 700 US dollars for a one-time payment. And you know, I told you that it is 750 for the discounted amount. But if you are willing to make a one-time payment or you are willing to pay twice, all right, instead of making your payments go over 4, 3, 5 times, all right, we are willing to, further give you a $50 knockoff where you pay just 700 US dollars instead of 750. But that is for those that are paying just once or twice. Okay. Now, if you want to pay 3 times, 4 times, or 5 times, or 5 times, you can still lock in on those discounted slots. And then when you are paid $750 and you're paying instrumentally. So what you want to do is click on secure your seats right here. Okay. By clicking on this 5 monthly payments, secure your seats, click on proceed, and then put in your information here and pay for product. So you're going to click on proceed right here. Now, once you're done paying for this product, a receipt will be sent into your email box. Okay, go into your email, screenshot that receipt, okay, and then come back to this original enrollment center right here. You're going to see where it says upload your receipt here. Upload your receipt. Now click on this, upload your receipts, and once you're done uploading your receipts, you are locked into the program. You are locked into our entire community. And then once we have our 20 people, and the price is going to actually revert back to the 900 US dollars once we have our first 20 people. But once you can lock in by paying an instrumental payment, all right, you are locked in for that discounted amount, and that is the price you'll be paying to the entire end of the program. So this is how you can lock in, and this is how you can actually partake of the discount. So this is what we are offering you. Okay, for those that are with those of us that are waiting to the end of the program, you're gonna see the link in the chat. Go ahead and click on that link and then make your payment as fast as possible. So now I'm gonna be able to entertain questions. So if you have any questions that's regarding the session from the Tableau to the upselling, you can go ahead and drop a question in the chat, and I'll answer that question before we call it in the day. Okay. So who's going to be going ahead and dropping a question? Let's see if you have a question. Go ahead and drop in your question. You have any kind of clarity you need to, just go ahead, drop a question in the chat, and I'll be giving you the clarity to your question before we end the session for today. So you have a question. Don't forget, there's a link in the chat box going on that is going to enable you to get access to the program resources, get access to the recordings. Okay, you want to go ahead and fill in the attendance form. That is very, very important. Okay, you want to fill in that attendance form right there. Okay. So what was the question? Drop a question in the chat. Can you expatiate on the mentorship program? So Adebayo, so what happens with the mentorship program is this: on a weekly basis, we're going to bring in professionals. Okay, so whether you are in the data science, data analytics, we're going to bring in professionals in your space to come in and walk you through what happens in, for example, the data analytics industry. So you're going to learn the pros and cons, the ins and outs, how you can literally network with your fellow data professionals, how you can literally be more visible. You're going to learn how you can, handle an interview session. So in an interview session, in a job interview session, a lot of questions are going to be asked you. For example, can you introduce yourself to us? Now, you don't want to go and say things like, okay, my name is Adebayo. I am from, Scotland. I am from Nigeria. I went to school in this. There is a technique to answering that. That's a very, very tricky question that an interviewer asks you. And then there's something that I'm looking for. Now, there's a way to answer those kind of questions. So we will expose you to the SIT approach and the STAR approach. Okay, those are the ways that you answer questions in an interview, and a lot of other things that you will be exposed to. So you have the CD review session. Those also happen in the mentorship session. You have the LinkedIn optimization session. Those are part of the things that you will be exposed to in the mentorship session. So it's literally to help you upskill, help you to be more aware of the recent happenings in your particular industry, so that you can be more, informed, more aware. Okay, so that's what happens in the mentorship session, Adebayo. All right, you're very welcome, Adebayo. So, any other question before we end the program, or before we end the session for today? You have any other question? So, you want to fill in the chat, the attendance form in the chat. You want to fill in. You want to go ahead and grab your spot, okay, and make payment as soon as possible, so that you can benefit from the discount price that is going on. So once we have our first 20 people, the price reverts back to 900 US dollars, and that's going to be the price that you're paying. But if you lock in your spot on time, you can benefit from that discounted amount. So if we do not have any other question on the chat, I want to say a big thank you to everyone for joining the program, for joining this session. I'm sure you learned a thing or two. And till our next masterclass, okay, to our next tech series, it's going to be a bye from me from now. Keep being amazing, keep being up to date with the tech world, and the sky is your starting point. Thank you very much, and bye for now.